Bhagavad Gita 5.29 Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvalokamaheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. This is the only verse in the 5th chapter wherein a mention of bhakti comes. So, the whole chapter focused primarily on Karma Yoga and how by the practice of Karma Yoga, when it is redirected towards or when it is imbued with knowledge of the absolute truth, can lead to liberation, Brahma Nirvana. That was the message of the chapter. Then 27-28 verses talked about Ashtanga Yoga, and 29th verse talks about Bhakti Yoga. So this Bhakti will be talked about elaborately from the 7th to the 12 chapters. So Karma Yoga, how it ultimately culminates in Bhakti Yoga, that is indirectly demonstrated in this verse. That even in the chapter on Karma Yoga, Krishna is talking about him, about the centrality of knowing him. There has been no mention of him till now in this chapter. There is Tad Buddhaya Tad Atman. Tad is there, and Brahma, of course, is there repeatedly. But specifically, Mam is coming in this verse quite emphatically. So, Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam. That there are sacrifices which are done and austerities that are performed. They are done for the pleasure of a particular person. And that person is Krishna. Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam. So different austerities are performed as a part of religious practices. And Krishna is saying, their object, I am that object. Krishna will talk about this again in 9 chapter 9.24. Ahami sarva yajnana bhokta cha prabhureva cha nitumam abhijananti tattvena tascha vantite. So you'll see that I am the enjoyer of all sacrifices. So one who doesn't know this falls away. Krishna says that, here he says that one who knows me thus, Gyatva mam shantim richati, such a person will attain peace. Gyatva mam, on knowing me. So that means although these sacrifices, all the austerities may be performed for different gods. Krishna had earlier talked about how Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha. So in 3.11 and then 12, Ishtan bhogan hivo deva. So there he has talked about how the yajnas are to be performed, and by that the devatas will be satisfied. So the devatas, there are yajnas in which there are portions given to the devatas, portions of sacrifices are given, but the person for whom the sacrifice is ultimately meant is Krishna. And only when one understands this will one attain peace. Otherwise, peace is not possible. Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam. Why? Because when we offer ourselves to Krishna, then we attain pure eternal love, and that love satisfies the heart. And when the heart is satisfied, then there can be peace. Bhukti mukti kami siddhi kami sakale ashanta Krishna bhakta nishkama ataeva shanta. So all other desires, apart from the desire to love and serve Krishna, those other desires can get categorized into 3: bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami. So bhukti is the aspiration of the karma kandis, mukti is the aspiration of the jnanis, and siddhi is the aspiration of the yogis. So that means those who are on any path other than the path of bhakti, sakale ashanta, all of these people are ashanta. They are restless. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is confirming here Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataiva Shanta is reiterating what is said in the Bhagavad Gita over here, that one who is devoted to Krishna is always happy. Now, when we consider this point, that actually the perfect object, the supreme object, the best object for offering our sacrifices, for offering for doing austerities for the pleasure of, that is Krishna. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Why is it that we should do all this for Krishna? Because he is naturally the supreme. He is the proprietor of everything. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. There are different devatas who are the Ishwaras of their own lokas. But Krishna is the Maheshwara. He is the Lord of all the lokas. All the devatas have their planets, and when the demons attack them, they flee from there and they go to Vishnu for help. So sometimes devatas are usurped from their throne also. But Krishna or Vishnu, they're the same person. He is the proprietor of everything. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. And if these two give an impression that Krishna is like a dictator, I am the enjoyer, I am the owner, serve me, bow down to me, be my slave, lick my foot, lick my boots. No, that is not Krishna's mood. Krishna is Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He is the well-wisher of all living beings. He's our greatest friend. The word Suhrida actually refers to a very intimate friend, not a nominal friend, not an official friend, but a friend who resides in our heart itself. Suhrida. So, one who resides in our heart and one whose heart we reside. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. And now he is the Suhridan. It's significant. Krishna is not saying that I am the Suhrida of my devotees alone. He says he is the Suhrida of all living beings. Sarva Bhutanam. He is the well-wisher of all living beings, irrespective of whether they love and serve him or not. He loves them so much that he stays in their heart, and from there he acts constantly for their well-being. So he's very close to us, not just in terms of situation, but also in terms of affection. Suhrudam, situated very close to us in our heart. In terms of affection, he's the closest. Nobody can be a greater well-wisher for us, of ours, than Krishna. And when we understand this, Jnatva Mam, when you understand this, Shanti Mrichati, there will be peace. Now, what does this sudden introduction of peace refer to? Krishna and Arjuna are on a battlefield, and Arjuna is thinking whether he can achieve peace by avoiding war, by forsaking his right to the kingdom. Can he avoid war and get peace? Krishna is telling him another way to get peace, that is by knowing his position. So here when Krishna is talking about Shanti, that is not so much of an outer peace in terms of absence of war, because outer peace is fragile. Any moment an opposing force can come up and prevent and disrupt the peace. But actually, when we in our heart harmonize with Krishna, that means we accept, Krishna, you are my Lord, I am your servant, and whatever situation you put me in, I will keep serving you. Please, O Lord, keep me engaged in your service. When we act in this mood, then no situation will disturb us. No situation will rob us of our peace, because we will know that whatever situation comes in my life, I will continue serving Krishna. This may happen or that may happen, wealth may go away, political situation may change, financial situation may change, physical health may change, but still I can keep remembering, serving and loving Krishna. And because our relationship with Krishna doesn't depend on anything material, and because material upheavals can affect only the material. So, especially when we are not attached to anything material, then material upheavals cannot affect our consciousness. And so, no matter what happens at the material level, we can stay peaceful in our relationship with Krishna. Srila Prabhupada also you refer to this verse as the peace formula. The peace formula because only when there is individual peace can there be social peace and global peace. Only peaceful individuals can bring about a peaceful society. Peace in the world cannot come just by some political agreements or some military treaties, because even if there is a cessation of hostility, cessation of fighting because of that, the bellicose mentality, the tendency to fight is still very much there. And that will make people fight sooner or later. But if one understands that I am a part of Krishna, and in loving and serving Krishna is my greatest good, and thus one starts dedicating oneself voluntarily to the service of Krishna, then in that there is lasting peace, because the soul can stay connected with Krishna forever and serve Krishna forever in this life as well as in the next.